All right, we are cooking up some dinner and we got lower body B footage rolling. So that's low handle trap bar deadlifts, tempo safety bar squats, Bulgarian split squats, and farmer's carries to round it out. So tonight I thought I'd talk a little bit about my training philosophy in general and how it's evolved over the years, how my goals have evolved over the years, and just generally how I think especially newbies in the gym should approach and think about training in a way that's going to get you to your goals the fastest. And even kind of mentally figuring out exactly what your goals even should be. Because I think a lot of people honestly think they want one thing, but they really don't. So when I first started training, like a lot of people, my first exposure to the lifting world and fitness world was just mostly bodybuilding content and fitness model content. And way too early on in my training career, I was trying to get as lean as absolutely possible. I had no business trying to focus exclusively on losing body fat, because the thing about trying to get extremely lean too early is that unless you have an appreciable amount of muscle mass already, when you get really lean, what you'll uncover is tiny muscles. And if that is the look you want, so be it. If that's what you're going for, so be it. But I think a lot of guys, honestly, would be a lot happier if they spent some time training in the gym, getting strong, getting competent at lifts, and then you can lean out later. And what you'll find is that when you do get leaner, you have a lot of muscle mass to show. Whereas if you get lean too early, you're just going to weigh significantly less than you think, and you are not going to be strong. You're just going to be extremely lean. And again, if that's the look you want, you honestly don't need to train that hard in the gym. If you just do push-ups and pull-ups and do a lot of cardio, you can achieve that. But I think if you're aspiring to, in any way, shape, or form, even remotely look like any sort of bodybuilder or serious lifter, you need to get strong. And this is obviously just, I'm speaking to folks trying to be natural. Cannot speak to being enhanced at all. So that is my biggest piece of advice, is if you are natural and you want to look like you lift, and eventually be lean with big muscles, you have to get really strong. And that should be the first thing you focus on for like the first 5 to even 10 years in the gym, is just getting strong. And when I say get strong, I mean strong all around. I don't mean be a power lifter and focus exclusively on your 1 rep max on the squat, bench, and deadlift. I mean, think of your body in terms of movement patterns, okay? Pushing, pulling, hinging, squatting. Your basic movement patterns. Your body is a mechanical unit that has a muscular system designed to accomplish these kind of basic movement patterns, right? Pushing things away from you, in front of you, pushing things up over your head, pulling things towards you, pulling yourself up over a bar, picking things up off of the ground, squatting with weight. These are the movement patterns you want to get strong at. So the general philosophy I have here is I keep it simple and just pick a compound lift in each one of those categories and treat that as kind of your main compound lift, and then choose some accessory movements that help build that. And you'll notice there that I didn't say back squat, front squat. I just, you pick the one you like the most. And I really think people get too into the weeds on this. Again, especially beginners. Just pick a squat variation that works for you. And that could be the one you find the most fun. That could be the one that feels the best. Honestly, the one that you're going to stick with is the one to pick. So I don't care if it's a low bar squat, high bar squat, front squat. I do a safety bar squat. It really doesn't matter a whole lot. People get way too caught up in, but this one uses the quads more, this one. No, worry about that when you're advanced, all right? For now, just pick a squat and focus on getting strong on it, and then pick an accessory movement or two that help it. So for example, for me, my main squat is the safety bar squat. I love that squat. I love this bar. And then I do front squats, A, because it's just another squat variation. And then B, I just like the lift. It's really not more complicated than that. So that's my squat, and then you pick a hinge. Could be the conventional deadlift, could be the trap bar deadlift that I use, and then I supplement that with Romanian deadlifts. See the pattern here? So you pick a main variation that fits the human movement pattern, pick a compound, and focus on getting really strong on it, and then the other stuff you do in the gym should be supplemental movements that help that main movement. And what you want to go for over time is just getting really strong, because if you get really strong at some sort of vertical pull, a weighted chin up, a weighted pull up, if you get really strong at some sort of overhead press, dumbbell overhead press, barbell overhead press, if you get really strong at some sort of bench press or bench press variation, a squat, a hinge, you will be a well-rounded, just strong person. And if you do that and eat sensibly, you don't, and it's not, people think this is black and white a lot of the time. I'm not saying stuff your face until you can't walk after eating. That's not what a true sustainable healthy bulk is. Just focus on getting strong and eating healthily and sensibly. Eat enough to grow, but not so much that you're just going to get overweight, and eat healthy foods. And don't worry so much about the waistline. If you eat within reason, it might go up a little bit, but it's not going to become a disaster. And if you do this and focus on getting strong, what you'll notice is your body changes and you grow all of this muscle all around. And that takes a long time. And eventually what's going to happen is you're going to... All right, I got distracted by my dog and then I forgot what I was saying. Get strong, build a lot of muscle. And then if you are unhappy with the amount of fat you have, you can cut it down to a degree to which you're happy. And I'll take this time to say too, you gotta realize that the stuff you see on social media, the stuff you see on bodybuilding stages, the level of leanness that you see with that stuff, guys, is not maintainable or even achievable or even desirable for most people. Like if you are completely natural, the level of dedication and adherence it's going to take to get like ridiculously ripped, it's going to take like a lot of shit that's going to make you seem like a fucking weirdo to people around you. You're going to be the person who goes out with friends and is making a totally ridiculous custom order to the waiter at the restaurant, or you're skipping family functions because you're worried about what food they're going to say. It's like, do you really want to live like that? Do you really want to be lean that badly? I mean, if you do, I'm not going to say don't go for it, but like really stop and be like, why is that worth being that ripped versus just like being really fit and in shape, but not like peeled? I just like, you just really have to be honest about if that's what you want, because there's just not a whole lot of point in getting that freaking ripped unless you're going to go on stage. And even then maintaining that for forever. I mean, if the goal is to get it for a short period of time, I mean, okay, but then what? Like, you want to just have like a flat stomach and not a big chunk of fat you can grab onto. But other than that, I don't know if you want that. I think your goals will change once you focus on performance and just getting big and strong and just not being what someone would describe as fat. I honestly think that's what most people want, not being ridiculously ripped. So I'm going to cut it off there. Hope this helps. Peace.